ZAC and Fatima go to family court to fight for Michael, and Fatima gets a new opportunity at work. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another ZATIMA video. And in this one, we're going to break down season 4, episode number 5. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of my ZATIMA content and conversations. The way I am constantly prepping myself when it comes to this conversation around this particular couple. I mean, the episode was the episode. Was it a good episode? No. Am I a fan of where we're at with the writing? No. But what I will say is, in knowing that the director of this season also wrote this season, he is making specific choices. He's making specific choices. I just really struggle with having a backspace delete happen. And it feels like too often as Tyler has integrated new writers into the Sisters universe as a whole, not even just ZATIMA, but it seems like when Tyler integrates these new writers, they don't put enough respect on the previous story, and then they like backspace delete some stuff that's already been established because it better serves the story that they actually want to tell, to ignore it or to act like this thing didn't ever happen or to rewrite it. So to say that Heather's aunt has had custody of Michael since he was born, meanwhile the whole storyline around how ZAC got full custody of Michael was finding out that she was abusive to him and not understanding his disability, specifically within his autism and non-speaking. We have never even seen the aunt. And you would think that the aunt would have appeared at some point during the process of Michael being taken, period. But Tyler like rushed through that storyline so quickly just to give ZAC custody that I don't ever believe that he even deserved or had earned. And then now we're in family court and ZAC is speaking to how the great aunt has always had custody and has kept him away. So all the time that we have not been seeing ZAC actually be a father, while we are under the we're under the understanding that he is the full-time custodial parent, you're trying to tell me that we haven't seen Michael because the great aunt actually had custody, but you went out of your way to put ZAC in this Easter ass suit and have Andy go to bat again for her felon ass friend and get full custody. Like, it just, that part pisses me off. And I get how, it's not the easiest thing to make all of these storylines converge, especially as you're like handing the baton to another creative and like passing the story off because Tyler's not writing this anymore. Cool. But I also feel like, looking at it from a writing standpoint, that to me is part of the challenge. That's part of the job. Like, being a creative, being a writer is a job, and like, you got to figure out how to make it work. You don't just get to act like this other storyline didn't even exist just because it doesn't fit where you're trying to go with the current storyline. And it immediately takes me out when I start hearing things that become red flags for stuff that I have already known to be true, being an engaged and active member of the audience of this show for the last 3 seasons, with this being the most, the newest one, the 4th one being new here. And then also these characters in particular for the last 6 years. Like, it feels so often like y'all are gaslighting the audience and y'all are playing in our face and playing on our time around stuff that we know to be true because we've been watching the episodes. And to take it one step further, I guess it also feels icky because it feels like you don't respect my time and attention. And in the space that we're at now, where every major station has a streaming platform attached to it, there is content constantly being pushed out. Traditional television and streamers are now competing with digital outlets and with free media, right? Like, honestly, I'm fighting for my life in this real, like when I'm recording this, fighting for my life really, in reference to who am I going to give attention to, these books or these damn shows. There's nothing but content available. There's nothing but stories afoot. Like, there's so many options out there, which to me makes it even more important, way more important than it was before, because back before the streaming thing, before this, that, and the third, traditional Hollywood, traditional television, you got what you got. But now you can get something on a major network. You can get something on a streamer. You can get something on an even more niche streamer, right? You can get something on YouTube that's giving the story in a web series. You can listen to an audiobook. Like, there's so many things. And at this point, like, I get that the Tyler Perry model has worked to help him amass his wealth and to push his characters out into the world and to get his stuff greenlit. But at some point, the audience is going to start to wake up and realize, with the inconsistency in reference to the storytelling, that their time is worth more than this. Their attention is worth more than this. And you don't get to lay the groundwork for one particular journey, never actually complete that journey with this particular character, and then lie and say that something never happened or this is what actually happened later on without any type of real story bones to support that. I think that, like, I know Allie and I have talked, because I have Our Sister's Keeper. If you haven't watched that, you should. Allie and I have talked about jumping ship and falling out of love to a certain extent with what's happening in the Sisters universe and divesting and this and that. But I feel like just the more I watch, it's not even a just Allie and me type of person that's going to start to divest from this model that Tyler has basically exploited. I think the regular audience member, the traditional Tyler Perry audience member, might also, because there's just way too many options. There are people who get more satisfaction in watching a 50-part TikTok series than to watch 4 seasons of ZATIMA, where you never know what the characters are going to say. The characters are never really being held accountable to the circumstances that they're in and the decisions that they make in said circumstances. And it's a glorified, poorly written soap at best. Now let me get into, I guess, the episode. That part really just stuck out to me. Like, we're in family court and the great aunt is here, which I don't have a problem with. I just feel like creatively they could have integrated the great aunt a little bit better, a little bit more seamless, for it to actually make sense. And then to have the great aunt be in a position where she's downplaying Heather, which maybe that's how she really feels, cool. But then towards the end, she starts to focus on the money and the child support that ZAC has to pay. It wound up negating the genuineness that it felt like when she was delivering her little monologue about how she wants to make sure that Michael is still integrated within their family. And that's a big part of it. I think what I struggle with is, like, if Michael is Zach's child, which is also another thing that they about to backspace and delete. The paternity is going to come back and it's not going to be Zach's, and it's going to annoy the hell out of me 100%. But if Michael is Zach's, right, the way that Zach went about it was to just snatch Michael out of the family, the environment that he's used to, and then move him to the duplex because they all moved on up, right? There is a part of co-parenting, there is a part of actually wanting to be a great dad that creates some type of bridge for his new life and his old life. Because yes, his mom might have been abusive and might have been ignorant and might have been neglectful, but that doesn't mean that everybody that's attached to the mom is that way. And it's your job as a parent who is trying to be intentional and trying to be a good parent to suss that out before you sever that tie. And the part that I can't really get on board with Zach is that he, to me, leads too much with his ego and his expectation of, like, biologically I'm the father, so I'm the best place for him to be. You're the best place for him to be, but yet you had no problem tossing your whole life down the drain just so that you can try to kill your brother. You believe yourself to be the best place he can be, but you over on Sisters trying to fight multi-millionaires behind a goddamn purse. You are the best place for him to be. Meanwhile, we never see you actually cultivate any type of relationship with him. He's been missing in action. Michael literally comes up when it comes to Zach in reference to thought and in dialogue when it's something it helps Zach feel better about Zach. Zach likes the idea of being a father because he attaches being a father as a good trait, and he takes that good trait and puts it in his little pile of, like, okay, I'm a good person because I'm a father. No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. We have watched Zach go on a journey of getting a damn therapist, while also this season, apparently, according to the trailer, you're going to try to fight said therapist. You don't even visit said therapist, and we're never seeing you actually make any type of emotional growth leaps forward. You're still jealous, you're still controlling, you're still egotistical, you're still narcissistic, you're still selfish, you're still, like, even in this episode, when Fatima calls and says she's going to be late, you are so hell bent on like, girl, why are you doing that? Why are you putting so much energy into this and that? But you have no problem with her putting all of her energy, all of her efforts, all of her resources into you. But when it's something that she cares about, when it's something that it 100% will only benefit her and not actually benefit you in your mind, then you can't understand it. Then you want her to defend it. ZAC is not a supportive partner. And I think that they write things in a way where they want to lean into the funny, because I know that Devale has spoken about wanting ZATIMA to feel like the show Martin, so they have all these comedic beats. But for me, a lot of the comedic beats, especially the one that we start the episode with, continue to affirm exactly how ill-equipped ZAC is as a man operating within this relationship. Fatima is the least she is 6 months pregnant, but it's given 7-8 months pregnant right now, about to pop at any given goddamn moment. You are making her breakfast. Gestational diabetes is very real. Why is there so much starch on this plate? When you say that you're going to add some fruit, you put the butt of a damn lemon on this plate. And then there's eggs, and then there's bacon. There's no syrup, there's no water, there's no, okay, cool. This is a performance. This is like, you want the kudos for the idea of bringing breakfast in bed and intentionally doing it without actually having to think this through. Then once you get up there and you wake her up and she's thrown off and she's annoyed that you woke her up, you put this food down and then jump over it to spill it all on her. And y'all already have been in a place where she has been nagging you about washing clothes. She's been nagging you about picking up after yourself. She's been nagging you about how she's had to navigate this house fully pregnant and struggling, and then you make this moment, the first 10 minutes of her being awake, stressful by giving her this damn food that, one, she's not going to eat all of this at once, and again, gestational diabetes, nigga. But then two, you jump over her in the food with the food to spill it. I almost flipped my damn desk, and I wasn't even the one in the damn scene. That annoyed me so much. I could only imagine Fatima in that moment. And then she gets to yelling and fussing, and it's like, you mad that she yelling and fussing, but look at what you did. You don't slow down. You don't think about things. Like, you just don't. Like, ZAC is really the personification of running around, bumping into things, effing on her. We get no real benefits, in my opinion, of like what ZAC brings to Fatima's life. And then we're steadily going on episode by episode by episode with her going to bat for this man, okay? In the damn courtroom, doing things that she knows she ain't got no business doing. And that's the one thing I will appreciate about the writing, because everybody is on my ass and everybody's on Allie's ass, as we point out that Fatima is not licensed to practice law. So to have her bumping up against practicing law over on Sisters currently, it's a problem. And it's a problem that can actually have serious repercussions. So have the judge in this episode say, Fatima, make sure that you're not giving legal advice because you are not actually licensed to practice law. I said, thank you. Because, like, let's go ahead and goddamn level set. But even in this, she's by your side, lending all of her resources and expertise at the top of this damn morning to this case for the custody of your child. And you have no problem with her that she comes up on the end asking for another paternity test, and that's going to ultimately delay the change in and the child support, because the child support goes from being $1,000 a month to $3,500 a month. The aunt winds up getting to keep it until ZAC completes anger management and then something else. And before they leave, she's like, okay, can we get a paternity test that's ordered by the court? And that delays that. But like, you are so glad, and you're like thankful and thank you so much in the moment when she's leaning on the expertise that she has and the resources that she has. And she cleared her whole damn morning, comes into work late so that she could support you. But then when she gets this great opportunity to be the law clerk or paralegal on this case between this R&B star suing to get out from under her controlling ass manager, who's also her father, now it's like, well, why are you doing that? You just jumping right on in, ain't you? I cannot respect men like ZAC at all. And it doesn't matter how good they look. He doesn't meet Fatima with the same energy and effort and attention that she meets him with. And then every chance that Fatima gets, she's making excuses for it. Like, oh, you might want to be quiet with what you're talking about because now we're talking about defamation with my fiance. I didn't hear not one thing that the great aunt said that wasn't the damn truth. And the crazy thing is, Fatima, you know that ZAC is erratic. You know that ZAC got anger issues. You know that ZAC is control. Like, girl, you know everything. You've seen it. You've experienced it firsthand. But that's pretty much everything that went down in the episode. The thing that I did write down, the one piece of dialogue that I did write down, and that I kind of want to talk about before I get out of here, y'all, is when they're going through things and the great aunt's attorney is laying out her case and her evidence and her statement or whatever. And they're pointing out ZAC's history with violence. That's pointing out ZAC's history with incarceration, and anger and all of that. He says, that's not my fault. And I think that is going to be the greatest inhibitor of ZAC's actual growth, because he truly believes that everything that has happened around him, with him, and because of him is truly not his fault. And while, yes, the person coming into the house shooting was a catalyst of Jeremiah, how he chose to engage with Jeremiah is his fault. The environment that he created is his fault. Right? Him beating the hell out of Jeremiah, beating Jeremiah within an inch of his life and being caught on video doing that is his fault. But the fact that he's already relegated in his mind that none of the things that have happened is his fault and he's the victim is the reason why he will continue to be the villain in his own damn story. And Fatima will forever have to be the hero going to go and fight against and protect the villain that is terrorizing both of their lives. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. It's your good sis, you love Talk TV with. I'll see you in the next one.